most avoidable deaths of all time.
Philip Quinn, death by a lava lamp explosion. In 2004...
God, see, this is the problem. Like, already I gotta criticize this one because it's like anybody who has a lava lamp thinks they're a level above you, right? For some unknown reason, motherfuckers will place a lava lamp inside their quarters and think that they're just above the rest. Yo, dick face, you're not. You just got an interesting, cool-looking lamp that I'm mildly jealous of. Is this really just a sign of envy? Yes, it is. Let's continue.
24-year-old Philip Quinn from Washington State was at home, watching his lava lamp do its thing. But apparently it wasn't doing its thing fast enough for his liking. Instead of waiting patiently, Quinn had
What the? You're not gonna let the lava lamp just catch its vibe? You gotta, like, manually get it going, pause? Why?
an idea that no scientist would ever approve of. He put the lava lamp directly on the stove to speed up the process.
Dude, I'm sorry, this is natural selection, right? At a certain point in time, an individual decides to take a lava lamp and put it on a stove. Like, what's the strings of thoughts that leads you to doing something so damn idiotic? I don't even know what's about to happen, right? Probably lava's about to go all over the fold. However, I definitely know, like, in my heart of hearts, instinctually, like, I feel like I've instinctually evolved to know that a lava lamp does not simply belong on a fucking stove. This guy, I don't want to say deserved to go out, but he had this was coming down the road.
Physics had other plans. As the liquid inside overheated, the pressure built up until the lamp violently exploded. A glass shard shot across the room with enough force to pierce his chest, striking him in the heart. Quinn collapsed and died.
Bro, imagine you live your life, right? You make a silly mistake. I'll give him credit for this. It was a silly mistake, only to get illustrated in the format of a stick figure with a glass shard that's not even inside the stick figure, but adjacent to it, basically show, like, that's you. That's the story of you. Guys, take care of yourselves, otherwise you're gonna end up on a fucking YouTube channel like this.
When police arrived, they found the shattered remains of the lamp, and presumably a cautionary tale about why household items come with warning labels. For the record, lava lamps already have a safety warning that explicitly states, "Do not heat this on a stove." A piece of advice that, if followed, probably would have saved his life. David Grunman, death by cactus revenge. On February 4th, 1982.
Spinning the block on the cactus is crazy.
In the Arizona desert, armed with a shotgun and a questionable sense
standoff.
of judgment. He and his roommate had gone shooting, but instead of aiming at targets, David decided to take on Mother Nature herself by blasting away at a massive saguaro cacti.
Okay.
At first, things went as expected.
I don't like the
He
way
fired at a
cactuses
small
look either.
cactus, watching it collapse in defeat. Encouraged by his success, he set his sights on a much larger 26-foot saguaro.
Why was he getting actually hype about taking out the gun? He's like, yeah, take that, you fucking pussy! Let me pull up on your pops. I don't know what's about to happen.
Loaded his shotgun into it, and that's when karma struck back. A massive 4-foot arm of the cactus broke off and fell directly on top of him.
Fuck.
The weight of the spiny limb crushed him instantly, ending his cactus shooting career permanently. David was declared
That's not
dead.
the only, I mean, his cactus shooting career? He's literally in the great beyond. You say his cactus shooting career. Yeah, no shit.
At the scene. Locals call it cactus karma. A brutal reminder.
Where the fuck did this guy live to where the town locals would have a name for this sort of thing? Cactus karma. Like, hey, that's just an old case of cactus karma. Or better yet, how often do people happen to shoot cacti and have the cacti fall on top of them to where this would be a normal occurrence enough for it to get a nickname of cactus karma? What? How many idiots? And why didn't this guy learn from it? Again, another case of natural selection. This motherfucker had this was his destiny. Sorry. Yo, we need a gore warning. This is too gory. Amy, lock the fuck in. Life is scary. Life is nothing but pain and suffering and complete and genuine harm. You have to be ready for this. Allow me to educate you. I don't want a cactus to fall on somebody and you're like, out of commish. No, I want you to look at this and be like, yo, I've seen that before. All right, what's the next option?
That desert plants have survived for thousands of years, and they don't take kindly to being shot at. This could
I don't
have
think
been
anybody
avoided
does.
if David had just picked a different hobby, maybe fishing, or literally anything that doesn't involve
Yo, why is that guy's hog fishing? That's great. Also, why is this guy offering his 2 cents about how to not get a cactus karma?
shooting at 500-pound plants. Hans Steininger. Death by beard entanglement. Hans Steininger was a well-respected mayor in 16th century Austria, known for his wisdom, leadership, and an absolutely massive beard.
Oh, he's part of BLM. Look at the star. Let's go.
4.5 feet long, it was less of a facial feature and more of an accessory, one that he usually rolled up and tucked into his pocket like a Renaissance-era fashion statement.
I mean, they didn't really have much else to put in their
Fire
pockets at the
in
time.
town.
They didn't have an iPhone,
Steiner forgot to tuck
AirPods.
in his beer before running to help. As he hurried down a flight of stairs, he stepped on it, tripped, and fell headfirst, breaking his neck. Yes, this man was literally taken down by his own beard. If there's any lesson to take from
Dude, it really be your own fellas. In this case, your fella being your beard. Damn.
this, it's that at a certain length, a beard stops being stylish and starts being a tripwire. Elena Struthers Gardner, impaled by metal straw. Reusable straws were supposed to save the environment, but this one didn't even save a single person. In November 2019...
See, what's the point of doing all this extra, like, environmental protection if it's not gonna even save your own sorry ass from a death via straw in GTA, of course?
England. 60-year-old Lena Struthers Gardner, a retired jockey with mobility issues, was at home sipping from a mason jar with a built-in stainless steel
Chicken jockey
straw. But as she walked through the kitchen, she suddenly lost her footing and fell. The metal straw, held firmly in place by the lid, did not budge. Instead, it impaled her left eye, driving straight into her brain. Her wife, Mandy, rushed in after hearing the sound of her collapse, only to find Lena making strange gurgling noises. Emergency responders rushed her to the hospital, but the injury was too severe, and she passed away the next day. Doctors later noted that if the straw hadn't been held rigidly in place by the lid, it might have moved or bent upon impact. But because it was locked in, it turned into a miniature javelin.
Wait, the metal straw was locked in? So the metal straw wanted to take her out because it was locked in to the point where it had that... It had murder on its mind. See, this makes me feel a lot less bad for consuming plastic straws on a regular basis, right?
And waiting for an unfortunate victim. This tragedy sparked safety discussions around metal straws, because as it turns out, sharp, movable metal spikes near your face can in fact be dangerous. Who could have seen that coming? Jennifer Strange, overdosing on...
Not her, because it went through her eye. That's not funny, it's fucked up, and I apologize.
Water. On January 12, 2007, 28-year-old Jennifer Strange from Sacramento, California, set out to win a Nintendo Wii for her kids. The contest, called...
Pretty normal so far. Get it, because her name's Strange.
Your Wii for a Wii, was simple. Drink as much water as possible without urinating. Contestants kept...
It's a fair game. Hey, that's a fair game. Little holding some Wii for another Wii. I don't see an issue with this. In fact, it's a little bit fun in nature, no? It's also a test of human endurance, willpower, so that there's actually a genuine reward for going through said trial. Jennifer Strange, fairly normal, I'd say.
Person standing winning the console. At first, Jennifer laughed along with the hosts, but as she kept drinking, she started to feel lightheaded and nauseous. Eventually, she left, telling coworkers she had a terrible headache. And
at some point you gotta drain the main vein.
A few hours later, she was found dead in her bathroom.
Fuck!
By drinking too much water too quickly, Jennifer had diluted the sodium in her blood, causing her brain to swell dangerously. Essentially, her body drowned itself from the inside out.
So, it's like reverse drowning.
After her death, her family sued the radio station, which had ignored warnings from medical professionals about the risks of excessive water consumption. The case ended with a $16 million settlement.
Damn!
No amount of money could undo such
That's not bad, though.
Preventable death. Water is great. Just don't drink it like it's a competition. Jimmy Hesselden. Death by Segway cliff dive. In 2000...
Yeah, that's why Diet Coke better, by the way. Diet Coke next in every scenario. You can drink as much Diet Coke as you want, it won't kill you.
2010,
Factual
British
statement.
millionaire Jimmy Hesselden, the owner of the Segway company, set out to test a new all-terrain version of his product on his private estate. With plenty of open land to explore, it seemed like the perfect place for a smooth ride.
This guy made the
except for one
Segway.
poorly placed cliff.
You know the shit from Happy
While
Wheels?
navigating the terrain,
Yeah! Wait, you guys can't see. Yeah! Look at that pancake booty. My bad. I gotta be a gentleman. I'm sorry. I'd like to apologize. I'm sorry, women. You guys deserve a male figure with a little bit more gentlemanly behavior.
Near the edge, veered off the path, and tragically plunged 40...
Okay, so they're trying to make him seem like he's a fucking gooner. That he didn't see the obvious cliff because he was staring at it. Yeah. I'm not sure I like this YouTube channel.
2 feet into a river below. Rescue teams arrived, but it was too late.
Damn.
The man who owned the Segway company had been defeated by the very thing he sold. This death could have been avoided by not testing a self-balancing scooter near the edge of a literal cliff, or maybe by installing guardrails or just walking. Dr. Jacqueline Katarik.
You live by the Segway, you die by it.
In August 2010, Dr. Jacqueline Katarik, a 49-year-old physician from California, made a decision that can only be described as bold, ill-advised, and tragically final. She was in a turbulent relationship with a man named William Moody. One evening after an...
If you're dating a guy with that hairstyle, you gotta understand going in that this will obviously happen. So I really don't feel any sort of remorse for this woman. Let's continue.
argument, Moody refused to see her, so she took matters into her own hands. First, she tried to break into his house with a shovel, which, unsurprisingly, didn't work. Then instead of...
Yo, if a chick tries to assault you with a spade, what are you doing, right? Because I'm analyzing the situation. How much firepower does this chick have behind her? If she's one, like the... small kind of dainty chicks. I'm just grabbing that spade, moving it to the side. I'm like, stop, baby, this isn't you. However, if she's like an angry, she's got a little bit of density on her Latina or something like that. She's coming at me with a fucking spade. At that point, it's hands. At that point, you gotta just box, right? Because if there's like a force coming from behind a spade to my dome, I gotta properly defend myself. At that point, I feel like a passionate right hand from Gianni Galuzzi is warranted. Wouldn't you agree? Or am I just a sick piece of shit? I'll let you decide.
Calling it a night and reconsidering her approach, she climbed onto the roof, removed the chimney cover, and decided to enter Santa style.
She took notes from Santa!
Chimneys aren't designed for human
That's
travel.
gonna be.
She slid in feet first, expecting to land safely inside, but she got stuck. Badly. When she didn't show up for work the next day, colleagues reported her missing. 3 days later, a house sitter noticed a strange smell coming from the fireplace. Firefighters spent 5 hours breaking apart the chimney to reach her. She had been trapped just 2 feet above the opening. The autopsy revealed that she had suffocated due to the extreme pressure on her chest, which made it impossible for her lungs to expand. Moody later...
So how the fuck does Santa get down there if he's so damn fat? Does this disprove the Santa logic, or does he have some sort of shape-shifting potion in his milk that allows him to contort himself just enough to deliver all the presents and shit? I don't know.
Expressed deep sadness over the tragic accident, calling it a horrendously bad decision that cost her life. This entire situation could have been avoided by simply walking away, or at the very least, choosing a break-in method that didn't involve entering a narrow stone tunnel. Vladimir Lakonos.
Oh, fuck. Dude, this one's Russian. I just want to allow for you guys to cover your eyes, so trigger warning, this could get intense. I would assume a bear is involved, or some form of vodka. That's vodka, but Russian. Where is my vodka? Let's go.
Floating chewing gum. In December 2009, 25-year-old Vladimir Lakonos, a chemistry student from Ukraine, was doing what a lot of students do, chewing gum while studying. But unlike most people, he had a habit of dipping his gum in citric acid to make it extra sour.
I'm sorry, but motherfuckers are weird. Like, dude, the bubble gum is tasty enough. Have you ever had a nice bit of Hubble Bubble? That shit is tasty. You don't need to dip it in some sort of scientific solution to make it better.
On this particular day, Vladimir grabbed a small white powder from his desk, dipped his...
What type of small white powder we talking? Dare, don't take drugs, stay in school, yada yada yada. You remember.
Gum, popped it in his mouth, and started chewing. Only it wasn't citric acid. It was a highly explosive chemical compound he had been working with in his lab. Within seconds, the gum detonated inside his mouth. The blast was so powerful that it blew off his jaw and lower face, killing him instantly. His parents, hearing the explosion, rushed in, only to find an unspeakable scene. When police investigated, they found 2 identical containers, one with citric acid, the other with a volatile explosive powder.
If you're fucking around with chemicals, you'd think you would label what sort of one that you use for a tasty snack, and then the other one that will literally explode upon touch better. Don't you think? Maybe some red and blue tape? Or no, I guess just fuck that for the aesthetic purposes. We gotta make it fully scientific in case we have fine shit over and she's into science and whatnot. He's like, oh my god, you use like labeling tape? You absolute amateur. So I guess he wasn't messing around with that. However, he's never gonna mess around with fine shit now because his head's are clean off his shoulders. So that's a bit unfortunate.
Mix-up, he had grabbed the wrong one. This accident could have been avoided by labeling things properly. It also serves as an important lesson.
I agree.
If you're going to eat something, make sure it's actually food. As bizarre as these stories may be, it's important to remember that these were real people with real lives. This video isn't about making fun of them. It's a reminder of how even the smallest...
Bro, you had one staring at a guy and you're gonna be like Mr. Nice Guys now. Like, bro, this guy's a fucking poser. I don't mess with him.